My name is Greg Bogosian, and I love everything about New England. Each week, I travel the region with my film crew searching for adventure. And along the way, I visit the places and the people that make New England extraordinary. This is New England like you've never seen it before. This is the New England Traveler. Hi, I'm Greg Bogosian, and this is the New England Traveler. We're here today at the country's oldest continually operating candy company. Makers of Necco wafers, Sweethearts, Mary Janes, Candy Buttons, Squirrel Nut Zippers, Clark Bars, and Sky Bars, just to name a few of their many products. This is Necco. There are a lot of places in New England to satisfy your sweet tooth, but Necco is an icon. The factory is huge. Inside, you can fit 8 football fields. I caught up with the folks at the largest candy factory in New England, and I got a cool history lesson in the process. So Jeff, tell me a little bit about the history of Necco.
We trace our roots back to Oliver Chase, Chase and Company, which was formed in 1847. He was an English immigrant, and he brought this skill set from England and was making something that was probably similar to a Necco wafer. And somewhere in Boston, probably in the Back Bay, he started making candy. A lot of candies were formed by hand and sheeted out and then cut with a knife or something. He developed a machine that could actually form shapes by hand cranks, 2 brass rolls with some cutouts in them that mirrored each other on either side, and he would feed his paste and roll it through there to create this product. All through the 1800s, a lot of candy was done that way. Chase had moved to Chicago for a while, and he had fire in his factory and ended up having to come back. There were a few other companies that merged. The Wright and Moody, Forbes and Hayward, and Oliver Chase, or Chase and Company, merged to form Necco in 1901. So they were bringing economies of scale to what they were doing and created this new company called New England Confectionery Company, and otherwise Necco. Necco was a huge player in the early part of the candy industry. After 20 years or so, they decided to build a factory, and they built it on Mass Ave in Cambridge, specifically to make candy. And at the time, it was the largest candy manufacturing factory in the world. That was 1925. And Boston used to be a huge hub for candy making. Even when I started in the industry, companies like Fannie Farmer, Schrafft's, Nabisco, Necco, Charleston Chew, which is now part of Tootsie, Mary Jane, which is now part of us. We were all located in the Massachusetts area. We moved here in 2002 to bring all the Massachusetts operations under one roof. We're currently employing probably over 400 people manufacturing product. Make Necco wafers, Sweethearts, Canada Mints, Mary Jane's, makes and peanut butter kisses. We have Clark bars, we have malted milk balls, we have a panning operation where we pan nuts and fruits. We have Thin Mints, we make peanut clusters, we make our own chocolate. Necco wafers start with sugar, some water, the flavors, the colors. We make these 900-pound batches. Looks like this big pile of Play-Doh. We move that over to a machine that's an extruder. Now, these machines were originally designed by Necco engineers sometime around 1905. What these machines do is they force the Play-Doh material out into a sheet. It goes through a series of rolls that actually stretch it out. It comes onto what we call a cutting apron, in which time we emboss it with the Necco logo, which you'll notice on every piece, and then we cut around that logo with a set of cutters. The excess material is removed and brought back up to the front of the machine and recycled immediately. The wafers themselves drop off onto a belt, and they go up into a dryer. It takes them about 45 minutes to traverse the dryer. It's 13 belts. It's about 70 feet long. After that, we take the individual trays of colors, we blend them, and they feed down into the wrapping machines, where the people are putting the rolls as they come off, stacked up like little coins. It takes from start to finish. It's about a 2-day process.
Can you tell me about the Mary Janes?
And basically what Mary Jane is taffy. We pull it like an old-fashioned taffy pull. We have a series of machines that do that. After that, they're put in a small tray. They go onto a batch roller, and the peanut butter is pumped into the middle of this cone that forms inside this machine. The candy is drawn out and stretched. It is then squared off and goes through final sizing into the cut and wrap machine at 900 pieces a minute.
I had a lot of fun on my visit to the Necco factory in Revere, Massachusetts, but I had a feeling that I wasn't getting out of there without Jeff and his team putting me to work. There I am now, working hard. Let's see if Jeff remembers how many flavors come in a Necco wafer package. No cheating, Jeff.
Necco wafers, 8 flavors: licorice, clove, chocolate, cinnamon, orange, lemon, lime, wintergreen.
Now it's back to work for me. They got me doing a little quality control sifting through the Necco wafers. I gotta have one. Man, this brings back a lot of memories.
You're doing fine.
Okay.
He's got red all over the gloves. He's just an amateur.
We're here at Ye Olde Pepper Candy Company. Now let's head inside and see how the Birkinshaws have been keeping history alive right here in Salem, Massachusetts. Ye Olde Pepper Candy Company is the second stop on my candy factory tour of New England. It's a centuries-old company set right in the heart of Salem, Massachusetts.
These will be the same in texture as those are. We make them with the same recipe.
When I arrived at the factory, Bob Birkinshaw and his son Craig were already hard at work making a clove-flavored hard candy. Bob Birkinshaw is carrying on a centuries-old tradition of candy making by hand that goes back to the early 1800s. From sifting through the candy after it hardens to sorting and packaging it, Bob is involved in every aspect of the family business. The family uses original candy molds and only the highest quality ingredients to make their recipes. And they take a lot of pride in doing their job right, every time, to deliver the best product possible. The Birkinshaws were nice enough to invite me to help them make one of their classic recipes. Craig stirs the boiling pot of molten candy and gets it ready to be poured onto the cooling table. Ever wonder how hard candies get that colored stripe down the middle? We're about to show you. The father-son team pour the candy onto the cooling table. Then a little coloring is added to one corner.
All right, good. That looks good. Okay. Very good.
Not bad. Yeah.
And Bob cuts it out to make the stripe. Bob and Craig are a great team. They work together to craft batches of candy that are as fun to make as they are to eat.
Now, what you're gonna do is just keep folding that in with you. You got the gloves.
Just with my
That's
gloves?
okay.
Really?
Yep. Just
Okay.
fold this in with your gloves.
Okay.
Just keep folding it in until all the yellow is into the
Oh,
red.
really? Okay, just like this?
You got it.
Get rid of-
You want all of the yellow mixed in with the red.
I'm getting rid of all the yellow.
You're getting rid of all the yellow.
Okay.
It's gonna be the stripe.
Should I go on the table or just
You
in
can
my
do
hands?
it. You're doing fine.
Okay.
You can put it on the table every now and then, yep. He's got red all over the gloves. He's just an amateur. The amateurs, when they're kneading the coloring in, if they get it all over the gloves. You're not supposed to get it on the gloves. I just bought those gloves.
Take it out of my pay.
All right. It's not enough. I'll only get one glove.
You already owe it.
Craig and Bob are a couple of cool guys who love to joke around and keep it light around the factory. They have to. As you can see, making candy is hard physical work.
You're gonna put me over here in the corner so I can just do this all day.
You got the red
and you guys
gloves,
get the
so-
fun part over there.
Now just turn it around. Yeah. Just keep turning it. That's good.
Before the candy is allowed to cool off and harden, Craig has to act fast to add the striping. One stripe at a time, everything is done by hand. Then he stretches it out into a more manageable size and cuts off smaller sections with scissors. Just a few minutes ago, this candy was boiling. Now it's being cut and hand cranked through the candy mold.
That's my turn.
Just don't get your gloves caught in the machine. not supposed to rest the shears on the bench. You're supposed you're supposed to just cut that piece of candy without using the bench as leverage.
At this rate, I'm paying you too much. Or you're eating too much.
You won't have to go to the gym after this.
No, I won't.
You can feel it right in the biceps.
Yes, sauna. Oh, half of it.
2 hands?
2 hands.
Oh, come on. Sid.
I used to do it with 2 hands too when I was 10.
The next time you're in Salem, Massachusetts, you have to stop by Ye Olde Pepper Candy Company.
They're very serious about their work. I mean, if they don't get it perfect, they get very upset.
So the Birkinshaws are actually the second family that's owned Ye Olde Pepper Candy Company.
Right. My grandfather went to work for Judge Pepper in the late 1800s at about 10 years old, cleaning floors, doing odd jobs. He worked himself up, candy maker, shipper, and eventually bought the company from Judge Pepper. He actually met his wife there also. They married, they both worked together, and the company has just prospered since then.
And how old were you when you started in the business?
I started probably around 8 years old. I worked for the Pepper Company because I was born into it.
And Craig, you worked in the family business from the beginning as well.
I got him beat. I started here at 6. You're doing some packaging. Anything I could count at that time, I could count to 10, so I put 10 something in a bag. So I haven't beat by 2 years.
I think it's about $1.25 a day or an hour.
6, I remember. I got $1.25 for the whole day.
Tell me a little bit about the oldest candy recipe in the country, the Gibraltar.
Well, the Gibraltar was the first piece of candy manufactured commercially in the country. It originated in Salem in 1806 when Mrs. Spencer arrived in Salem destitute after being shipwrecked. Her neighbors asked if there was anything they could do to help her, and she said, if you could give me some sugar, I knew how to make some candy. And she started making this candy and selling it from the steps of the first church in Salem. The business prospered. She bought a horse and wagon and expanded it even further. They started selling it wholesale to different places, stores, and things like that. Her son carried the business on further. It prospered and eventually sold it to Judge Pepper.
Now the Gibraltars, I think they're here.
These are the Gibraltars, right. We made them earlier today.
Right here. This is really good. They're really good.
There goes your pay.
I need the money. Now, now, tell me what a blackjack is.
It was the second piece of candy manufactured commercially in the country, which is a long stick candy made out of blackstrap molasses, about 6 inches long. Judge Pepper thought when he bought the patents for the Gibraltar that the Gibraltar was a very feminine piece of candy, and he was looking for something that was a little bit more aggressive or had a bite to it. So he introduced the blackjack, which with the blackstrap molasses does have a bite to it. Therefore, we get the first 2 pieces of candy ever made commercially in the country.
So this is actually the 4th generation of Birkinshaws that are in the business.
Right, I'm the 4th generation. But I have 2 daughters that do occasionally come in.
5th generation.
Yeah, they would be
Coming
5th
up.
generation, yeah.
Okay.
She's only 8 and the other one's only going to be 5. They do a lot of quality control work. Taste testing, make sure I don't mess up anything.
They do eat a lot, though, I have to admit. I don't know if it's very profitable to have them here, to be honest with you.
But no, my oldest does come in. She comes in at Christmas time, and we make candy canes, and she'll curl the
that's
candy
great.
canes. So every year she looks forward to doing that.
And they're very serious about their work. I mean, they don't get it perfect. They get very upset. And if their father doesn't get it perfect, they get very upset with him, too. And they make it well known. She'll even say to her father, Dad, there's no joking, we're working.
No, there's no joking. This is very serious business. This is the candy business. There's no business more serious than candy. Can I come back at Christmas time and make candy canes with you and the girls?
We'd love to have you come back.
I would love to come back.
No, it sounds
Craig
good.
Birkinshaw,
All right, it's a pleasure.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bob Birkinshaw, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure and it's been an amazing experience.
Great.
All right.
Take care.
I'll see you guys in December.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Dip them in the dark chocolate. Easy enough.
Easy enough.
My last stop on this candy-making tour of New England is Harbor Sweets, which is also in Salem, Massachusetts. Harbor Sweets is a chocolate lover's dream come true. I met up with owner Phyllis LeBlanc, who is happy to show me around and even let me have a hand in making their signature candy.
So tell me about the history of Harbor Sweets.
Harbor Sweets began 40 years ago, and the company was founded by Ben Strohecker. Ben started the company in his basement in the early 70s. He set out to make the best chocolates in the world. That was 40 years ago. He started with what is our flagship chocolate, our Sweet Sloop. And the Sweet Sloop happened just out of coincidence. He ran out of dark chocolate one day and he dipped half of the almond butter crunch into the white chocolate and then half in the dark. And his son said, "Dad, that looks like a sailboat." And his wife said, "Sweet Sloop." And that was the start of the company. I started working here dipping those Sweet Sloops. I've been involved with the company since the very beginning, and it's not often that if you're looking to buy a company or get in business that you have an opportunity to buy something that you know inside and out the way I did with Harbor Sweets.
So tell me about how a Sweet Sloop is made.
Our Sweet Sloop is our flagship chocolate, and that is a wonderful old-fashioned almond butter crunch. It's made with equal parts of butter and sugar, and we use wildflower honey in the recipe, and it's cooked in the copper kettle, and then it's spread out on a table and scored into the triangular shapes that is the signature of our Sweet Sloop. And ours is unique in that we actually enrobe the whole piece of butter crunch in white chocolate first. That's the sail of our sailboat. And then that is hand dipped into dark chocolate and nuts. We use a lot of the old-fashioned methods in our handmade chocolates.
Now, it's time for me to get my hands dirty.
You just take them off the belt, dip them in the dark chocolate and the pecans, and then on the flat. Easy enough.
Easy enough. Yeah.
And you gotta be quick.
Oh, I have to be quick?
Yes, you do.
I have to be quick and good?
Well, at the beginning you won't be good, but
No?
I promise
Are
you
you
after
sure?
you try, you'll be good. Last one.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Yeah. Now what happens if you... Let's see. Oh,
Just let that
Drop
one
one.
go.
I ruined the whole batch. I feel pretty confident, so I'm going to do two. Okay? Oops. Or maybe not.
A lot of people, they use one hand first and then the other one.
Oh, like one and one?
One and one, yeah.
I got chocolate on my gloves. Look at this. This is... Okay.
We might need a whole roll for you.
Yeah, but just bring the roll over here. And then... help. Just two more. Like that. Chocolate on my gloves. And can't have chocolate on the gloves. Last one. The best one. Angie, thank you very much for showing me how to make the Sweet Sloops.
Okay, so I won't have a career as a candy maker anytime soon. Hey, it's harder than it looks.
We introduced our Salt and Air line in September of this year, and it was a real labor of love. We tasted probably 60 different kinds of chocolate and spent hours and hours tasting. It did exactly what we had hoped it would do. We're just thrilled to have it out there and have people receiving it so well.
So, what are we doing now?
So we're going to pack our 16-piece Salt and Air box.
Okay.
And this is going to be easier than what you did earlier.
That's good. I need an easier job. Yeah.
So the first thing we do is we put a pad on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Then we take the diagram. And we start by the first one here, which is the almond butter crunch.
Almond.
There.
This one right here?
Yes.
Okay.
Chai.
Espresso. This one right here? Okay.
Caramel.
Caramel.
This one.
Here. Squeeze them in there.
Yes. Espresso again.
Espresso again. Stuck.
Cafe au lait,
Cafe au lait is this one right in front of me?
ginger,
Ginger. Here. This one here. Chai.
all the way
All the way down, yeah.
ginger,
Ginger's here. That gonna
cafe
fit?
au lait. Yes, they will. Cafe au lait,
Cafe au lait.
chai again.
Chai down here. That seems to be the most popular, I think. Whoops.
It is. Caramel.
Oh, this one.
Espresso,
Espresso.
the second.
Oh, this one here. Last one. Nope. Gonna fit in there.
Almond butter crunch versus this one.
All right.
The finished product, we put the pad on the top and
Okay.
diagram.
Almost there. Okay. And you got that right there. Easy. Griselda, thank you very much for showing me how to pack the candy. And for the record, it's not that much easier than dipping it.
You did great, Greg.
Thank you very much. You're very good at your job. I am
you.
not very good at your job, so
You are. You're
I
very
am done. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hey, thanks for joining me on this sweet episode of the New England Traveler. Today we explored New England history through the eyes of 3 candy manufacturers. It was an amazing experience for me, and I hope it was for you too. I'm Greg Bogosian. We'll see you next time on the New England Traveler.